Hey, what's up everyone, and welcome to episode 24 of the Weekend Gear Guide. Although we typically review and compare outdoor gear and technical outerwear and provide our guidance and recommendations on what you should consider selecting for your weekend adventures, unfortunately, most of us have to first make it through the work week, which for a lot of people involve many hours of video conference calls with the occasional complaints of, "Your voice sounds garbled," or "We can't hear you," followed by the typical "Can you hear me now?" responses. So in today's episode, with the recent release of Apple's new AirPods Pro 2nd generation, we'll compare the video conferencing voice call quality of the new AirPods Pro 2nd generation against the original AirPods Pro against the reference EarPods with Lightning connector. So let's get started. While sound quality, active noise cancellation, in-ear comfort, battery life, extra features, and price are all important aspects for deciding which wireless earbuds you should consider purchasing, the voice call quality of an earbuds microphone, especially when talking for long hours during a video conference call in different noise environments, is rarely covered in sufficient detail. So in this review, we'll cover the following: an introduction to voice call quality test methodology, voice call quality criteria and scoring, voice call quality in a quiet environment, voice call quality in a constant loud noise environment, voice call quality in a dynamic loud noise environment, and finally, voice call quality subjective scores and recommendations. Now let's begin with a quick introduction to voice call quality. To start off, it's worth discussing what are the top 3 use cases where microphone voice quality would be important. The first use case would be video conferencing meetings where you'd be speaking to many people at once, which depending on your work and schedule could be for many hours every day of the work week. As equally important to the first use case would be phone calls, especially two-way phone calls, which could have more usage than the first use case depending on the individual and their work environment. The second use case is personal voice memos, and the last use case would be video recording. Now, since this review will be focusing on testing and comparing microphone voice quality, it should be noted that for phone calls, there is no good way to properly test and compare phone call quality since many countries, carriers, and/or smartphones, especially Apple iPhones, prohibit recording calls. And leaving a voicemail to yourself does not use the best cellular audio codec, bandwidth, and bitrate that is typically used for a two-way phone call. Also, for video recording over Bluetooth, this requires downloading and purchasing a third-party app in order to enable the use of Bluetooth accessory microphone instead of the default microphone of the phone. And finally, both personal voice memos and video recording are very low usage use cases for most people in comparison to video conferencing and phone calls, and since video conferencing involves speaking to many people, the voice quality of the microphone being used is of utmost importance. So now that we've established that video conferencing meetings is the top use case where the voice quality of the microphone is of high importance, the next thing we need to know is what is the most popular and most widely used video conferencing software today that's compatible across multiple OS platforms. Well, according to multiple publications, such as PC Magazine as shown here, Zoom Meetings is ranked as the best overall video conferencing software. In addition, in comparison to other video conferencing software, Zoom also has the highest market share according to TrustRadius as shown here. Now that we've determined that video conferencing is the top use case and that Zoom Meetings is the most popular and widely used software, the next thing we need to know is how do we test the video conferencing voice call quality? In this section, we'll describe in full detail our voice call quality test methodology, which you can use for your own testing and comparison. And if you found this info helpful, informative, and useful for you, please be sure to like and subscribe. So the first thing you'll need to do is go to zoom.us/download URL, then download and install the Zoom desktop client on your PC or Mac and sign up for free. Then launch the Zoom desktop client on your PC or Mac. Then send an invite link to your iPhone with the Zoom app already installed, and then tap on the received link in order to join the Zoom meeting. Then on your PC or Mac, you will need to mute the microphone and turn off your speaker in order to prevent that annoying echo and feedback sound during testing. Then hit the record button as shown on the bottom of your screen on your PC or Mac. Then perform the voice call quality comparison tests, starting with your iPhone connected to the EarPods, then with your iPhone connected to the AirPods Pro 2nd generation, and finally with your iPhone connected to the original AirPods Pro, and repeat these tests for each noise environment. And finally, stop the recording, end the call, and review the saved recordings in the Documents Zoom folder. Note that for our comparison test, we used a PC and iPhone connected over a Wi-Fi internet connection with a download and upload speed of more than 500 megabits per second and a latency of less than 5 milliseconds, which effectively eliminates any audio-related issues due to poor internet connection. And for checking the ambient noise levels in each test environment, we used the NIOSH Sound Level Meter app as shown here. So now that you know the test methodology that we used, let's go over the criteria and scoring we use to evaluate voice call quality. The first criteria is loudness. Does the voice sound too quiet, too loud, or just right? The second criteria is clarity. Does the voice sound clear and intelligible with no artifacts or distortion? And the third criteria is natural. Does the voice sound natural? And for scoring, we leverage the MOS scoring system where a top score of 5 is considered excellent quality with no effort required to comprehend on the listening effort scale. And a bottom score of 1 is considered bad quality where the voice is incomprehensible with reasonable effort on the listening effort scale. Now let's begin our voice call quality comparison, starting off with voice call quality in a quiet environment, which would be representative of a video conference call in a private conference room or home office scenario. For our comparison, we tested in a home office. Every once in a while, a revolutionary product comes along that changes everything. One's very fortunate if you get to work on just one of these in your career. Apple's been very fortunate. It's been able to introduce a few of these into the world. Every once in a while, a revolutionary product comes along that changes everything. One's very fortunate if you get to work on just one of these in your career. Apple's been very fortunate. It's been able to introduce a few of these into the world. Every once in a while, a revolutionary product comes along that changes everything. One's very fortunate if you get to work on just one of these in your career. Apple's been very fortunate. It's been able to introduce a few of these into the world. We'll now conduct a voice call quality comparison in a constant loud noise environment, which would be representative of a video conference call in a room with an AC, range hood, or air purifier on maximum fan setting. For our comparison, we tested beside a range hood and air purifier, both on maximum fan setting. Every once in a while, a revolutionary product comes along that changes everything. One's very fortunate if you get to work on just one of these in your career. Apple's been very fortunate. It's been able to introduce a few of these into the world. Every once in a while, a revolutionary product comes along that changes everything. One's very fortunate if you get to work on just one of these in your career. Apple's been very fortunate. It's been able to introduce a few of these into the world. Every once in a while, a revolutionary product comes along that changes everything. One's very fortunate if you get to work on just one of these in your career. Apple's been very fortunate. It's been able to introduce a few of these into the world. And finally, we'll conduct a voice call quality comparison in a dynamic loud noise environment, which would be representative of a video conference call while sitting in a busy Starbucks. For our comparison, we tested in a home theater surround sound setup with shop and mall sounds played at high volume.
What is Apple after all? Apple is about people who think outside the box, people who want to use computers to help them change the world, to help them create things that make a difference, and not just to get the job done. What is Apple after all? Apple is about people who think outside the box, people who want to use computers to help them change the world, to help them create things that make a difference, and not just to get a job done. What is Apple after all? Apple is about people who think outside the box, people who want to use computers to help them change the world, to help them create things that make a difference, and not just to get a job done.
Now let's go over our subjective scores and recommendations based on the comparison tests conducted. As expected, the reference Apple EarPods had the best voice call quality in each of the three noise environments, while the original Apple AirPods Pro had the worst voice call quality, with the new Apple AirPods Pro second generation scoring in the middle. And in all three scenarios, there is a noticeable difference in the voice call quality between the three earbuds tested. Therefore, based on our subjective scores, we would recommend the following. For video conferencing in a quiet environment up to 50 dBA, although both the voice call quality of the Apple AirPods Pro second generation and the original Apple AirPods Pro perform fairly well, we recommend the Apple AirPods Pro second generation since it performs noticeably better than the original Apple AirPods Pro. For video conferencing in a loud noise environment up to 70 dBA, we would only recommend the Apple AirPods Pro second generation since it just barely meets the acceptable fair voice call quality score in a loud noise environment. And finally, for loud noise environments over 70 dBA as measured with the NIOSH Sound Level Meter app, we do not recommend using either of these two AirPods since both AirPods score very poorly for voice call quality in this noise environment. So what do you think of our scores and recommendations? Would you score or recommend any differently? Let us know what you think in the comments below, and if you found this review helpful and informative, be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notifications icon to be notified of our next episode where we'll compare the voice call quality of the latest Bose Quiet Comfort Earbuds 2 against the original Bose Quiet Comfort earbuds and maybe add the AirPods Pro 2, Jabra Elite 7 Pro, and reference earpods into the mix. So goodbye for now and see you on the next Weekend Gear Guide episode.